Lord of the Flies is a Nobel Prize-winning novel by William Golding published in 1954. It follows a story about a large group of boys stranded on an unsettled island after an airplane crash, as they attempt to govern themselves until help can arrive. The novel follows the boys' depreciation of morals and sanity as time passes on the island. What starts as an organized society transforms into a power struggle between civilization and savagery. As one end thinks logically, the other desires blood and thinks power should rule all. The conch shell is a key motif in Lord of the Flies. Shortly after landing, the protagonist Ralph blows the conch to assemble the boys, and from then on is voted leader of society. Ralph creates a rule that only those who hold the conch may speak during the debate, in order to maintain order and peace. The conch shell symbolizes order and civilization, as it is a law and grants equality within the boys as it gives the holder the right to speak. As conflict grows, the power of the conch erodes as the boys become more primitive. Eventually, at the peak of madness, the conch is shattered, symbolizing the loss of civilization and sending chaos. Within psychology, there's a theory that the human psyche is composed of three parts, which are the id, ego, and superego. Id represents primal instincts and evil. Superego represents morals and selflessness. Ego is the balance between the two. In Lord of the Flies, all three portions are personified into characters within the story. Ralph is a symbol of ego. He's a realistic balance of moral conscience and human impulses. Ralph takes charge in the story, leading the group to work towards getting rescued while also doing his best managing himself and his peers. While Ralph is a great leader and an even better person, there are many instances in which he is provoked and gives in to his aggressive instincts. As a result, he gets into arguments and physical fights often, which he regrets later on. I can relate with Ralph here, as him and I are similar. Like Ralph, I'm always doing my best to be a good person and do the right thing. However, I find myself subject to my instincts at times, such as aggression and libido. To help with this, I box and work out. Having rigorous physical activity is my outlet, as it allows me to disconnect and relieve stress harmlessly. Jack is the antagonist and the id within the story. He disagrees with Ralph's leadership and is the one who seizes control of the group from Ralph as he transforms them from boys to animals. He's power hungry, violent, and stubborn, thinking his ideals are the priority. We see this lust for power in another text, and that is Macbeth. Jack and Macbeth are both very similar in their greedy ambition. Like Macbeth, Jack starts off as an appointed general until he is dissatisfied and starts to rebel to a point where he loses himself into power and becomes a monster. Piggy is a superego and the manifestation of good. Smart but chubby, he is constantly bullied and ridiculed by the other boys, even though his intelligence is a key part in their survival. He is extremely virtuous and always doing the right thing, no matter the circumstances. Piggy is similar to Kenan from the Chalice of Sarajevo. Like Piggy, Kenan is constantly trying to do good, even when others treat him wrongly. For example, Piggy helps the boys even when they single him out, and Kenan helps out Mr. Stovsky even though she is unpleasant and ungrateful towards him. The characters in the novel have their morals and civility deteriorate as time passes. Being on a stranded island without restraint and fighting for survival every day changes the boys into bloodthirsty brutes, even quarreling within each other, so one group may prosper while the other suffers. This plot makes a statement that humans are naturally savage and selfish, especially in circumstances where their survival is threatened. The novel uses children to amplify this thesis, as children are not developed like adults and more honest with their natural roots. We can make a connection to humans themselves. Humans are social creatures and adapt their personalities to increase chances of survival and reproduction. Morality is increased when in safe environments, but when safety is threatened, humans will do whatever it takes to survive. A great example is from the religion of Islam. It is stated in the Quran that on Judgment Day, in the midst of all the calamity, even the best people will turn on their own family to ensure their survival and safety. Our novel comments the exact same point. In the end, humans are selfish. Ralph wept for the end of innocence, the darkness of man's heart, and the fall through the air of a true wise friend named Piggy. Ralph states his quote at the conclusion, after suffering through war and the deaths of his friends. This quote is by far the most powerful in the novel. Ralph comments on his experience and on the tragedy within the story. He realizes the catastrophe as the group is finally rescued and shows weakness for the first time, weeping as he is emotionally overwhelmed. The group's childlike innocence has been stripped, their friends are dead, and they'll never be the same. Although a difficult read, Lord of the Flies is an amazing novel and an award winner for a good reason. I recommend this novel to anyone who likes action or psychology as it deals with lots of graphic violence and different personalities. The novel itself is an allegory, so you will find many more connections as you explore this book. Golding's writing is descriptive and unique. The writing style and vocabulary from the 1950s posed a challenge at first, but by the end I felt like a more experienced reader. This novel will not only entertain you but also broaden your reading and writing skills. It is truly a classic.